let's so start with the cabinet shuffle, given that it did happen yesterday. And full disclosure, yesterday I happened to have the day off because I've been working over the weekend, and they were like, yeah, just take Thursday, it's fine. Nothing's going to happen on Thursday.
3 positions were changed. The one that I think everyone was kind of expecting was the split for human services. Not that we were necessarily for sure that was going to happen, but you felt like after the controversy and the problems with the Serenity case, they had to do something about that. And when Graham did his year-end interview with the Premier, he actually asked her, are you going to fire Irfan Sabir, the Minister of the Human Services Department? And she said no. And they've been very clear about that. They've really dug in about that. But then he said, well, what about splitting up that ministry? Because it's a super ministry that created by Alison Redford in 2011, rolled together several ministries. He said, it's a little unwieldy. Would you ever consider that? And she went, well, I don't know, and kind of sloughed it off. So we kind of thought that maybe that would happen, and that is indeed what happened. They've created a children's services ministry, and that will deal with those issues alone. And I think that the responsibilities, the big job coming ahead falls on Danielle Larrave's shoulders. She was municipal affairs minister, seems to have acquitted herself pretty well. Notley referred to the Municipal Government Act that was passed last year. She referred to it as the biggest municipal legislation that's been passed in 25 years. And
that thing was huge. That thing could have killed a man. Just physically, very large piece of legislation.
And plus, she was the point person on the Fort McMurray fire as Minister of Municipal Affairs while the fire was happening and during the recovery period, which meant that she had to deal with lots of press, and she had to deal with a very crabby Wood Buffalo Regional Council. And that was really the first time I had dealings with her. And I was very impressed with the way she handled some really tough files. And the time I spoke to her most recently was about the fight between Beaumont and Edmonton over annexation. And again, I came away from my interview with her thinking, okay, this is somebody who knows her brief and who isn't afraid to talk to the media and explain things. And so I think that's a very hopeful sign for a department that needs a strong minister, not just a strong minister who's willing to go in and rattle some cages and shake up a bureaucracy. Because I think Irfan Sabir is a perfectly lovely man, but I think he got run roughshod by his own staff who just led him around by the nose. So I'm hoping that Danielle Larravie will have the gumption to stand up to her own people. But I'm hoping, too, that she'll be able to be the public face of that ministry, to handle questions in question period, to handle questions from the media in a way that Sabir just couldn't.